She was 39 when I met her.
And you were?
I was 21, so that was about 18, almost, actually 17 and a half, but about 18 years.
Which is the opposite of what everyone thinks about what happens when you date in Asia.
Yeah,
a lot of people come here to date younger, right?
Dating much older.
17, 18 years older.
She looked great, she was fit, we had same kind of vibe, she's healthy. She was just going through a separation with her husband, who was actually like 16, 17 years older than her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's quite the swing for her,
Quite the swing for her. We started off just as an agreement where we actually had to train the yoga staff they would give us, so we were learning about each other's kind of skill set, this kind of thing. One thing led to another, we got involved, and then I remember my 22nd birthday was coming up. She wanted to take me to Phuket for my birthday. And I remember holding my passport lining up for the plane, and I dropped it. I didn't realize in time, she picked it up, and it happened to open right on the my photo page, which has your birthday.
So at this point you had told her, how old did she think you were before she found your passport?
She thought I was 27 when we met. So I had to, I actually told a little bit of a lie when we met, because especially when you met an Asian woman, is you don't want them to think you're young and immature, and even though your vibe is not like that, you're working and have a good job and things, but they're very crucial to like your age. And generally for Asian women, as you said, they will date older men. It's quite common here. She opened the page and she started counting numbers on her fingers, which mean that she realized how young I was. So it was like 94, and she just looked at me and was like, "How old are you?" And like her face just changed, and I was like,
"This is in the airport."
Yeah, this is literally at the boarding gate as we're handing the passports in. And I said, "I'm 21." And she's just like, "Why did you lie to me?" And I'm just like, I thought it would bother you. I didn't want to say I was 21 because you're older, and and obviously I'm attracted to you. And I like you and this kind of thing. So for the whole flight, she didn't say a word, not a word. And I was like, okay, this is going to be a terrible holiday. We're going to be done, for this for sure. I tried to make it out. I apologized to her. By the time we got to Phuket, though, everything was fine. She chilled out. She was like, you know what, whatever, I'll just go with it. Don't. If there's anything else you want to tell me now. Because she was already thinking, okay, you've lied about that. What's next? Anyway, so we had a great time. We went back to Hong Kong, and then I remember that trip coming back, going to Phuket and thinking, you know what, like, I think I'm ready to get out of Hong Kong now. I think I want to get back to a beachy kind of vibe. I'm sick of this kind of intense work environment, because I arrived back in Hong Kong and I just didn't feel happy. I remember about 2 months later, my now ex-girlfriend, so the Thai woman I'm talking about, she said, "Oh, next time I want to take you to Hua Hin." So Hua Hin is like another beach town, smaller than Phuket. So I said, sure. We flew to Hua Hin, and I remember getting there and just thinking, oh my God, this is even quieter than Phuket. It's not as touristy. There was a lot of older, what we call Farangs, which is Westerners in Thai. And I thought, this is great. This is like reminding me of home and being relaxed, and like there's not a lot of young people. So again, the attention was like being thrown at you. Probably not the best idea when you have an older, mature girlfriend who's trying to settle down with you. So again, I remember doing that one trip. We were there for 3 or 4 days, came back to Hong Kong, and I remember just feeling so upset. And just like, I just did not want to be here anymore. And I remember looking at her and saying, hey, I'm done. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to move to Hua Hin. And here's a mature woman giving me an ultimatum going, okay, so do you have a job there? Do you have somewhere to live?
She's trying to tell you,
so
you have no business thinking about just going there without a plan.
She was supportive, but this was, I think, the good thing about dating someone a bit older was that she was kind of like making me understand the consequences. And she's like, you have a job right now. You have an apartment. You're earning money. And I was like the stubborn 22-year-old going, nah, you know what, when I really want to do something, I want to do it. If you don't want to come, I understand. Like, you've got a son, you're dealing with the divorce still.
Oh yeah.
I don't want you to leave your son, but I'm gonna go. Yeah, within that month, I quit my job, handed in my resignation, told my landlord I was leaving, sold everything I had, furniture, saved up as much money as I could, which is a lot more than I came to Asia with. Yeah, booked my flight. She came with me to move there, and she stayed for a month, but she made it clear that she couldn't just come because her son, the divorce, like, she was a married woman, which is not as simple as a 22-year-old kind of de facto guy in a relationship just going, I'm going to move countries. But I said to her, hey, look, I understand if you don't want to do it officially. I understand your son. And after that trip, she came home and she called me and she's like, I want to do it. And I said, are you sure? And she did. So she started. So
she moved with you to Thailand?
Not straight away. So I spent about 6 months there by myself.
Oh, okay.
And then she was coming back and forward almost every second weekend. It's only a 2-hour flight from Bangkok to Hong Kong. So she did it. She sold all her stuff. She got whatever she didn't sell, she arranged with her husband to ship over to Thailand. I was living in her condo that she owned in Hua Hin, and she moved there. We even moved dogs over with us, so her dogs as well.
That's a big deal. This is a big commitment.
So this was like going into marriage almost, basically.
Yeah.
And so we kind of committed. We worked there. We ended up opening up her own business actually in Hua Hin, and the relationship lasted for 5 years.
Wow, okay. So that was your longest relationship.
Yeah, that was my longest relationship, from almost 22 to almost 27. Yeah. So we actually recently broke up, and she moved back to Hong Kong to be with her son, obviously.